welcome to the channel. It's Jack, the muscle and mobility maker with Stronghold Strength and Conditioning. And today, I'm going to be showing you how to fix that medial epicondylitis, or golfer's elbow. But before we get into it, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine. And it doesn't get much better than that. So take advantage of it. Ready? Let's go ahead and dive into this. All right, like I said, today we're going to be showing you how to fix that medial epicondylitis. But before we get into it, there's something very important to understand about medial epicondylitis. While it may seem like it's an elbow pain and an elbow problem, the reality is it's not. We're actually dealing with more of an issue up and downstream from the elbow that's causing the pain and load on those tissues right at that medial part of our elbow that is causing the problem. And that is the wrist and the shoulder. The joints above and below are not functioning the way that they should and holding stability and doing the functions that they should, and that is putting excess pressure on the elbow, which then becomes an elbow pain and an elbow problem. But the real source and root of your problem is likely above or below, mainly at the wrist or at the shoulder, where there's limiting and minimized rotation that should be there, or stability that should be there. And that's what we're going to show you how to resolve today here through a nice mobility routine that you can follow to help completely resolve that medial epicondylitis for good. Ready? All right, the first thing we're going to start with is a banded distraction series, working the wrist first, moving up to the elbow, and then to the shoulder finally. So we're starting with extension of the wrist when the shoulder is in external rotation here. So don't miss the component of the shoulder being rotated here. This is very important. What I want to do is place the hand on a bench, turn away from it so that I'm able to sit down next to the arm and fully extend the arm so my shoulders are down and back. Notice I have good alignment here. I don't want to be hunched over. The arm is fully locked out. And this is restoring the extension of the wrist here. You'll get a big stretch through the front of that forearm, so be ready for that. Next, we're going to take the band to the elbow itself, and we want to go right over that point of tenderness to the pain of the epicondylitis here. And what I want to do is walk out to where I have some resistance from the band when I'm rotating in that same position that I just was. Now my fingers are facing forward here, but I'm actively focusing on that rotation and lockout. And I'm really trying to work from a bent elbow into a straightened one, where my shoulders are engaged on my upper back and in a good position with the forearm and elbow fully extended here. So work through that with a few reps. We want to spend about 2 minutes in each of these positions, or something equivalent in reps here. So that would be maybe about 20 reps or so. Lastly, we're going to work the shoulder here in rotation and the whole system of the arm in traction from the band. You'll notice I took the band up higher for this position here. The first one I want to start with is an overhead reach here, and I want to be able to access the full extension of the arm, so making sure that I'm not bending at the elbow, trying to really let that band take my arm as much as possible. And I'm rotating between a pronated and a supinated position here with my palm to put the shoulder again in external rotation where it's going to be more stable overhead. Next, I'm going to try a few pulls, mainly trying to focus on the pull movement coming from my scapula. So I want my scapula to slide up, and it'll feel like I'm shrugging the shoulder to my ear and then pulling that scapula back down, anchoring it back on my upper back. Next, we're going to take the arm directly out to the side at shoulder height. Rest your forehead on your forearm, sit the hips back to the heels. This is to really allow yourself to let the arm get pulled into traction by that band. We just want to see how much we can rotate from internal rotation to external rotation in both directions. Now notice that my scapula stays anchored on my upper back even in that internal rotation position, so you don't want to feel your shoulder shrug a bunch. The rotation comes from the ball and socket joint itself here. Next, we want to go ahead and do a little bit of self-myofascial release. The band that I'm using here is called Voodoo Floss. It's 25 bucks from Rogue Fitness, and it's worth its weight in gold. So I'm using blood flow restriction to help heal some of the tissues, clear out some of those damage markers in there. And we're also increasing the growth hormone to that area. So we're gonna heal any tissues that might be damaged. What I wanna do is add a little bit of load, and here I'm using rotation. So I'm trying to keep my shoulder again in a good position as I rotate that kettlebell into both internal and external rotation, testing the end range of that motion. The last piece we want to add is shoulder stability. So here I'm going to do some presses with a band, getting the band to pull me in a forward direction. You notice that my elbow stays in line with my wrist, and I'm trying to extend fully overhead and draw those elbows to my ribs. I want a tight butt, tight stomach here, so I'm really embracing my core as I'm working, and I'm going for full extension. Really should light up the upper back and bring some stability to those shoulders. All right, and there you have it. A quick and simple mobility routine that you can follow to fully resolve your medial epicondylitis. If you like this video, make sure you let me know by clicking big thumbs up down below, and take a moment to share this one with a friend, maybe they're a golfing buddy or somebody who's doing a lot of work at a desk and they struggle with elbow pain. Pass it their way. If you're somebody who struggles with reoccurring training aches and injuries, or you simply want to improve the way that your body moves, the strength that you have, the stamina, the performance that you have in the next 12 weeks through mobility training, what I want you to do right now is drop down below into the description to schedule your mobility blueprint call. This is a call where we'll assess your current needs, your goals, we'll develop your blueprint for your mobility program, and we'll get you moving in the right direction with direct coaching and guidance. And if that's something that sounds good to you, what I want you to do right now is go in, fill out those prelim questions, get your call scheduled, and we'll get you headed in the right direction. Last but not least, if you have not already, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine. And it doesn't get better than that. Welcome to the Stronghold Army. Catch you next week.